Deep inside a peaceful green forest, where sunlight danced through the tall trees and flowers bloomed everywhere, there was an old oak tree that became home to a colony of hardworking bees. These bees were different from the others. They believed that anything meaningful in life had to be earned through patience, teamwork, and dedication. Every morning, before most creatures of the forest even opened their eyes, the worker bees were already flying across fields and gardens, searching for sweet nectar. They traveled long distances. They carried tiny drops back to their home. Again and again. Day after day. Their wings became tired. Their bodies became weak. But they never gave up. Because they knew every small effort was creating something bigger. After many weeks of hard work, the bees finally completed a beautiful golden honeycomb inside the old oak tree. It was not just a place to store honey. It was a symbol of everything they had sacrificed. Every cell represented a long journey. Every drop of honey represented hours of effort. The worker bees looked at their creation with pride. They didn't see just a hive. They saw their dedication. But one afternoon, something unexpected happened. A group of drones flew into the forest and discovered the amazing honeycomb. They looked at the golden walls filled with honey and smiled. The biggest drone stepped forward and said, "What a wonderful hive! Luckily, we found it. This belongs to us now." The worker bees looked at each other in disbelief. "Belongs to you?" one bee asked. "We built this hive ourselves." The drone laughed. "Maybe you worked on it, but we are stronger. Everyone knows the strongest deserve the best." The worker bees felt a deep sadness. They were not angry because they wanted attention. They were hurt because someone wanted the reward without the work. Their leader, a wise bee named Bella, moved forward. "Strength is not taking what someone else creates," she said. "True strength is having the ability to create something yourself." But the drones ignored her. They continued saying, "Nobody will know who really built it. We can simply tell everyone it was ours." Soon, the argument spread throughout the forest. Animals gathered around, wondering who was telling the truth. Finally, both sides went to the wisest judge in the forest, an old wasp named Judge Warren. The judge listened carefully as the worker bees and drones explained their sides. After a long silence, Judge Warren looked at both groups. "You all look similar," he said. "You all have wings. You all can fly. Anyone can make a claim. But the truth is not proven by words. The truth is proven by actions." The judge pointed toward two empty spaces beneath nearby trees. "Here is my challenge. Both groups will build a new honeycomb from the beginning. The group that can create a hive like the original one will prove they are the true builders." The worker bees immediately accepted. They had no fear. They knew the truth was on their side. But the drones suddenly became quiet. They looked at each other nervously. One drone finally said, "We don't need to waste time with this silly challenge. We have more important things to do." Judge Warren watched them carefully. Then he slowly nodded. "I see. The ones who truly know how to build are never afraid to prove their skills." The entire forest became silent. Everyone understood the truth. The drones had many excuses. They had many words. But they had no work to show. They wanted the reward without the effort. The honeycomb belonged to the worker bees. Not because they shouted the loudest. Not because they convinced everyone with their stories. But because they were the ones who created it. The drones flew away, embarrassed and defeated, disappearing into the deep forest. The worker bees returned to their oak tree. Their home was safe. Their hard work was respected. And from that day forward, the forest remembered an important lesson. Because this story is not only about bees. It happens everywhere. In workplaces. In businesses. In friendships. There are people who try to take credit for things they never created. They speak the loudest. They want the biggest praise. They stand in front when there is success. But when it is time to do the real work, they disappear. The truth is simple. Anyone can claim a victory. Anyone can tell a convincing story. But only the real builder knows how to build again. So when someone tries to take credit for your hard work, don't waste your energy fighting endless battles. Don't let their words distract you. Just say one thing. Show me. Because real creators don't need excuses. Their work speaks for them. If you have ever worked hard while someone else received the credit, remember this. The world may not always notice immediately. But the truth always finds its way back. Keep building. Keep improving. Because in the end, everyone will see who